I was just having a little evening walk and I spotted a real gem in a skip. Isn't this amazing? A whole skip full of old paintings. There is one that just catches my eye, and it's not because of the painting inside. I think it's just a printout. It's because of the frame. It's a really ornate gilt frame, very different to what I'd normally frame my paintings in. Look at that beauty. Pretty cool, I'd say. So I'm going to take that home and see what I can do with it. This is exciting. Oh. I think I know exactly where that fellow is going to be spending the rest of his days. So I've smashed the frame and I've burnt the picture. I think I better restore some art karma to this painting, and I'm going to try and put a picture in there that I actually like. In the time that it took for that little painting to dry, I had some bad luck. I was evicted from my studio. But I also had some good luck because I found a new studio and it's a lot nicer. Thinking about luck and fortune reminded me of my favourite television programme. Detectorist is about a couple of hapless blokes wandering the countryside looking for something interesting. Funny I should like that. One of my favourite storylines is that after several series of plodding about not finding anything, eventually Lance finds something really special. But having found his gold, seemingly his luck turns. Suddenly Lance seems plagued by bad luck. There are murmurs of the curse of the gold. And it isn't until he makes a tribute to the land that things begin to look up again. He can hear the birds sing, and the joy of detectoring and being in the country returns to him. Last part. I'm not superstitious, and I'm not saying that since I found this gold frame I've got the curse of the gold, but I do really like the idea of that circularity of paying tribute where tribute's due. A bit like detectorists, I spend my life questing through the countryside looking for my inspiration, and I take that and I turn it into paintings. Take something, but I don't give much back. As this has been dry, and I've had a few months to ponder it, but I've been thinking, wouldn't it be nice to give something back to the landscape? And I'm not quite sure how to do it, because unlike some gold coins, I can't just bury this painting in a hole in the ground, but it would be fascinating to find a way to release it into the wild. So I think I need a bit of help working out how to release a piece of artwork into the wild. And luckily I've got a friend who's got quite a lot of experience with this with her pots. So I'm off to her house to go and talk a little bit about how to hide artwork and give it away without it just being littering.
Okay, so these are my scarred pots. So the story behind these, I made them about 12 years ago when a really good friend of mine went through breast cancer, and it was just a personal gift to her. It was my ode to her, my little visual poem, and that's all it was meant to be. I just had this idea. I thought, gosh, if I put these little pots out on the street for people to find, on park benches, window ledges, outside train stations, would it still speak into people's story, connect with their scars? I put 40 pots out in the town and the response was overwhelming. And then fast forward a few years and it's become a public art trail that's gone over 3 cities.
So I like the idea that it's like a message in the bottle. What's the story that's chimed most with you?
So it was in Belfast and I had put my little box down outside quite an iconic pub in Belfast, and this older lady came over and I just saw her lift the pot out of the box, and she just cradled it in her hands for a long time. And I went over to her and I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Rachel, I'm the artist. Did you know about the project? We just stumbled across it." And she said, "Rachel, I have been looking for your pot for 2 days."
Wow.
And she called it her pilgrimage of hope. And when she found it, she said the search was really important to her. That's why I was talking about people, this pilgrimage idea, that people have to go on a pilgrimage to find it. And you have to go on a journey. Oh,
thanks so much, Rachel.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was such a pleasure to come and see all that.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to have you both. I really.
To be honest, until I'd visited Rachel, I wasn't quite sure why I was doing this, but she's really helped me to make sense of it. This painting came to me for free, and because I made a copy of another painting, the making of the painting of it itself was almost too easy. And I think really what's been missing is what Rachel called the pilgrimage of hope. Because I think that idea applies to everything of value in our lives. Good stuff shouldn't come too easily. We have to quest for it. And that is definitely my experience of painting. I come and I trudge about in the landscape until inspiration shines on me. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And I reckon that's the message in Detectorists too. Andy and Lance realise that the search is more important than the find, the journey more important than the destination.
So I'm nearly where I'm going to put the painting, but I just saw another rambler, and I really don't want anyone to be around when I'm doing this job. I want to get in, get out, hide the painting, and leave no trace. I'm on edge. Z for Zachariah. Did you read that book when you were at school? A person in the landscape. What is going on? Anyway, I think the coast is clear, so I'm going to do my final infiltration. Oh no, he's still there. Do I go on? Do I hide? What are we going to do? So we're here. This is quite an adventure, really. I absolutely love this spot. There's something so magical about this farmhouse, just abandoned, empty, desolate in the hills. So I thought this was the perfect home for the painting, really. You know, you look at this place now and it's like grey and dusty and unloved. But once upon a time, this farmhouse would have been the site of so much life. Babies would have been born here, there would have been blazing rows in the kitchen, children playing outside, people living and loving and loathing each other here for maybe centuries. And I feel like this is a good place to put a dash of colour back. I've been thinking about doing this for absolutely ages, but now I'm here, I'm actually gagging myself. Never let it be said I'm a sloppy worker. quad. Might be time to get out of it. I'm really fired up by this. Looking in there, you can just see this little jewel box of a painting with that very heavy gilt frame just glowing in the gloom, and it's a lovely contrast. Right, I think I've hung around here long enough now, so not to push my luck, I'm going to beat a hasty retreat and leave that little picture in its new home. Pretty excited thinking about that little painting down there, because I've got no idea what's going to happen to it now. Like Rachel suggested, I've put a QR code and some information on the back, and it'll be fascinating to know if the loop gets closed. There are far more questions than there are answers. Maybe the farmer will find it and just bin it. Maybe it will be there for years and years, or maybe someone will come on a sort of pilgrimage of hope of their own because they've decided that they want it and they're going to come and get it. Maybe that guy, he's already on his way. He's not even put it online yet. Someone's posted it on the NFU. Anyway, it's an interesting feeling setting a painting off into the wild rather than selling it into captivity, and I'm going to be really interested to see whether the loop ever closes. Home time.